Marsen's domain.
Hey everyone, Marsen here, and today I want to give an update on my Marsen's quick tip video on the belly healing on King K. Rool. So in that video I was saying that it was really hard to lab out the healing times on King K. Rool's belly when it cracks. But me and Doughboy were messing around and we started to figure things out, and then I went and labbed it out and I think I figured it out. So if you watch the clip that I have here, you can see that Ridley is hitting my super armor. And when it starts to crack, and I let it heal, and I do it again, it instantly cracks. However, you can see that it takes multiple hits at the start to get it to crack in the first place. Which means that even though the crack disappears from King K. Rool's belly, there's still some damage to it. So the way that this works, from what I labbed out, is that there's just a damage threshold. The visual cue only helps you see that, okay, maybe it's close to breaking. But the whole 2 crack mechanic and on the 3rd crack it breaks is almost irrelevant. You need to watch out for when your belly is at the 2nd stage, because that means you're really close to it fully breaking. But otherwise, it doesn't work as simple as cracks once, cracks twice, breaks. It's all based on damage. And from letting it heal from the first visual cue to the regular belly look to the first crack again, it took around 3 seconds for 0.6%. So let's just say roughly 1%. And then I even tested this when it has the second visual cue to the first crack. And that took about 3 seconds as well at 0.6%. So with going by that, you can say that it roughly heals 1% every 3 seconds. So if you go from my last video where I noticed that from the second visual cue, it took about 33 seconds to fully heal, I think that goes in line with what I figured out. Because if you do the 0.6% every 3 seconds, and knowing that it's not completely healed when all the cracks are gone, I think the math adds up. And again, this is all rough numbers, because it's hard to know at what rate it's healing at as I'm trying to get these jabs in. It's healing during that time as I'm getting the next move in. So when you're playing as K. Rool, and you have cracks on your belly, you need to remember that even if there's no cracks on your belly, but you use the armor, some of the damage is there. I've been calling it first crack and second crack, but I think a better way to word this is stage 1 crack and stage 2 crack. So if you're at stage 2, that's when you need to worry, because you don't have much damage left until it's going to break. But at stage 1, you're pretty safe, because it gets at stage 1 very quickly. So I'm glad that I was able to pretty much figure this out, and thanks to Doughboy for getting me on the right track with this, because it was really confusing at first, because none of the numbers were adding up. But now, all you need to do is remember that it goes by damage, and that you don't really need to worry too much until it's at stage 2, where there's a bunch of cracks on his belly. And you also need to remember that even though there's no visual cue, it may not be fully healed. I think knowing the numbers of that it heals around 0.6% every 3 seconds, I don't think you need to really think about that during the match. Just know that if you're at a stage 2 crack and it goes to stage 1, don't just start throwing out super armor moves again. Because right when it gets to stage 1, it still has a lot of damage to go until stage 1 is removed. So once it gets to stage 1, hang around for a little bit, and then start going back in with super armor. Because if you go right in, if it goes from stage 2 to stage 1, there's a lot of damage saved up. Because you have to remember, the visual cues aren't telling you how much damage is there in total. Because as I proved, it's healing while that visual cue is there. And that visual cue will stay until it hits certain thresholds. So that's it for this video. Just remember, when you're at stage 2, wait until it's at stage 1 and wait a little bit, then start throwing out super armor moves. And remember that when stage 1 is totally gone, there is still some damage remained in his belly. So that's it for this video. Hopefully this made sense. I know it's like a lot of information and it's kind of jumbled, but there wasn't really anything else on this, and I really wanted to figure it out, and I think I did. So hopefully this helps. If there's anything else you want me to go over, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and want to support my content, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.